Now, if you would have told me that you're going to take away Hal Jordan's ring, that these comic books would be any good, and I'd be like, maybe one, maybe a half of one. But after that, you got to give him back his ring. Otherwise, this comic's going to suck. This is the second comic book without his ring, and these things are fantastic. My name is Dorian. This is SEM Comics. We will continue our coverage of Absolute Power with Green Lantern, number 14. So the story starts off where Green Lantern number 13 left off. We're pretty much on Gamora Island. Hal Jordan was a prisoner, but he pretty much escaped by embarrassing King Shark. And he's looking to get his ring back, but also too, he sees that they've been collecting all the different weapons from different superheroes and supervillains. So now he's like, maybe I can get some of those too. So he actually sees two guards, and one of them is carrying his ring. So he decides to start getting into these lovely weapons that are laying around. Particularly, he gets into Toy Man stuff. He gets one of Toy Man's tops. It starts spinning around. The guard's like, what the hell is this? And then there's a big flash. And then on the next page, we see him punch out the guard that's holding his ring. The guard's like, you can't just... And Hal grabs his ring and it's in a case, breaks it in the guard's head, gets back his ring. Unfortunately, the ring is dead as a doornail, and he's spotted by the other guards. And then we cut to Alan Scott, who is now playing chess with his new bestie, which is Jade Stone, the amazing robot that pretty much took away his power and Justice Society's powers. You see, the Starheart pretty much gave him free will and is conflicting badly with his programming. He doesn't know what to do, but he does know that he can get answers from Alan Scott. Like, pretty much Jason says that it's going to be checkmate in 3 moves. Alan Scott's like, yeah, I figure about 4 moves, but you're the expert. And then Jason's like, so if you know you're going to lose, why play? Alan Scott's like, because of the love of the game, because I like making my own choices. But then the alarm goes off, and Jason has to go, but he tells Alan Scott that he'll be back because there is much to discuss. And as he leaves, Alan Scott goes, checkmate. So then we cut back to Hal, and he is being shot at. He probably should have been shot like 5 times. He gets behind some equipment or some containers. He's looking for something to use, and the only thing that he sees is Condiment Man's condiment gun. Condiment King is Condiment King. Well, you Batman fans are like, you better get it right. It's pretty much like, this sucks. The Jordan luck strikes again, but something's better than nothing, so he pretty much double fists his condiment guns and starts shooting ketchup and spicy mustard. As he burdened these dudes' eyes, another guy tackles him right into Blue Devil's trident, which pretty much breaks into glass, and then he grabs it. One dude doesn't know exactly how it works, but Hal does. He hits a button, and then the dude goes flying. But they're still busting shots at him like they're 1930s gangsters. Hal grabs another container, puts it up to try to block the shots, and then he finds javelins. So he throws one and it turns into bubblegum. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with javelins, so like, I guess the javelins do that. He's about to throw another one when all of a sudden there's a green construct that surrounds it, and Jay Stone's there. See, you guys are kind of young, but as soon as I saw that, in my mind I started singing, turn out the lights, the party's over. But while Hal's probably about to get turned inside out by Jay Stone, his boo thing, Carol Ferris, is having lunch or dinner in the Tower of Fate with the Justice Society. And while Carol is contemplating on what it is to be a superhero, Stitch and Salem Witch are pretty much having a discussion that says she technically isn't really a superhero. It's not on Amanda Waller's radar. She's a perfect person to try to go out of the Tower of Fate and bring back more superheroes that can hopefully help. Then we cut to Oa, and we got Lord Premier Theros, I believe is how you pronounce his name. If not, I'm pretty sure your Green Lantern fans will pretty much let me know in the comments how exactly to pronounce it. In a nutshell, this dude pretty much took over Oa, kicked out the Guardians, kicked out the Green Lanterns, and now is ruling with his United Planet Council. So of course his council asks him about Earth. And just like Amanda Waller said, he doesn't respect them and he thinks they're just a small speck. And man, I would love these two to go at it just once. We're probably not going to get it, but I would love these two to go at it. So pretty much his people are digging how they took over, but they don't want to be looked at in a bad light. And Theros is pretty much like, that's pretty much not how change works. We're going to be called all kinds of things. especially murderers. But look at it like this. In our home world, we're going to be heroes. So then we cut back to Hal, and pretty much Jay Stone, like I said, has free will. And he's talking out loud, and he's like, do I eliminate or do I aid the directive that's in front of me? And Hal's like, I think you should go with the second one. But then he picks up a key rifle and then shoots it at Jay Stone, making his decision easy. So now Jay Stone's like, eliminate. Hal tries to run, but remember, he absorbed all of the Justice Society's power, so he has Speed Force powers too. And Hal runs right into him. So Jay Stone's about to get to the business of pretty much turn Hal inside out when Hal finds a magic wand. Who knows whose magic wand it is, but it's a magic wand. And before Jay Stone comes out with his power, Hal says abracadabra, and there's a big flash. And it looks like Hal blew himself up with a big chunk of the factory or the facility. And Jay Stone's like, oh, well, I guess he made my job easy. Then we go elsewhere, and somebody's trying to wake up Hal, and we see it's the Trinity. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And they're like, wow, not only did you just show up out of nowhere, but it looks like you brought us some toys. He transported himself to Themyscira because, you know, they had to blow up the Fortress of Solitude, so now they're on Wonder Woman's turf. So then we cut to Hub City, where Salem Witch and Stitch did convince Carol Ferris to try to go out and try to find more allies. And Salem Witch is like, as soon as you find somebody, just hit the cross. I bewitched it myself. And Stitch goes, you mean cursed? And Salem Witch like, don't worry, it'll work. But now she's out of the Tower of Fate. Her old boo thing, who she left at the altar, who's now become the Gray Lantern of Sorrow, now knows she's around and he's about to go get her.